Hello my friends and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. In yesterday's video we completed our 2/3 things that I wanted to get done. Talked to the apothecary, got that sorted, talked to Solus and escaped. we came outside the gates and dang, it's a beautiful sight. I had to come all the way out of here to get away from all the Chantry folk who just kept talking over me all the time. So in today's video, I would like to let's do something, take a break from chit-chatting a little bit, although we probably will get to it momentarily. But I want to come down here and talk to the blacksmith. I feel like also you can see the routes I have taken because I'm immediately recording after my last video, so you kind of see all the places I've been running. So that's going to give that away, but whatever, it's fine. But anyway, let's go talk to the blacksmith. Zoom back in a little bit.
The darkness comes
Oh my gosh.
me. I shall embrace the light. I shall weather the storm. I shall endure. What you have created, no one can tear asunder.
I like the random chatter, but the Chantry folk really like to chatter, and it's kind of annoying.
You built for them
See?
the golden city.
I've heard this like 3
center of
times.
All creation, and for a time you dwelled among them.
Okay. Quieter. This is a random tent just right here. Hello.
If the Inquisition wants to field a decent cavalry, it needs better horses. I heard Jesika Pentagast might try to acquire suitable mounts from Master Dennett in the hinterlands.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and who are you to be fishing around for what the higher-ups are doing?
Back in Angsburg, my uncle was 5th Praetor.
And what's that mean for you back in Arnsberg?
Honestly, about as much as it does here.
Nothing. Yeah, it does seem like stables for a horse, but we have no horses yet, so that's happening. See, they are so chatty. Craft armor and weapons at the local blacksmith.
thought you and your men might be working up a thirst. She sent me over to see if you needed anything.
We're fine, thank you.
Oh, Flissa, that's so nice. Well, let's loot stuff. Oh, I could buy and sell here. I'm totally gonna do that instead of the other guy. Another schematic. I'm just gonna make tons of stuff, aren't I? Apprentice coat arms, okay. So I can craft weapons, modify armor, modify weapons, craft armor. Oh my. This is going to... It's cool, but it's gonna cause me problems. Like off-camera problems. Anyway, let's quick save and talk to Harriet.
Expected you'd be by. I'm Harriet,
Harriet.
and everyone knows who you are. How's the new gear fit?
It's quite well, I guess, right?
Sturdy and warm. It's perfect.
Good. World's gone mad. Stock armor and blades are good against bandits, but we're not fighting bandits. My gear will see you through demons, apostates, whatever this world throws at you. So, you need custom work, something special. You bring the materials to us, we'll make it happen.
Well, I have questions about all this. What can you make here?
What can you and your team make here?
Arms and armor. We work iron to blighted dragon bone if you've got it. Our designs are simple, but they get the job done. You want something fancy, bring your own design. We'll see what we can do.
Okay. What's your story?
How did you come to be here?
Come from a little town called Lothering. Long gone now. I was in Redcliffe when the Darkspawn hit it during the Blight. Helped rebuild. Left when royalty decided it was time to hand the place over to the bloody mages. Ended up here. Just missed the boom. Can't decide if I'm the luckiest son of a bitch walking or the exact opposite.
Yeah, I mean, he came from Lothering and that was destroyed. Went to Redcliffe with all the Darkspawn, and then apparently the mages came, and then he comes here and he misses the world exploding like this. It is a bit worrisome, sir.
Whichever you are, I hope the streak is broken.
A man can dream.
Do you outfit the troops?
Who outfits the Inquisition soldiers?
Not me. I've got work to do. Can't be passing a sword to every blighter who signs up. If you want to help the troops, talk to Thren, the quartermaster. She'll set up requisitions.
Oh, so you're like my personal blacksmith or something? That doesn't make sense, but okay. Why do you need my materials? Yeah, can I just buy it from you?
Does the Inquisition not have supplies to make armor or weapons?
Tough convincing traders to haul up here. Impossible to get them to risk the rare stuff, so that's on you.
Maybe that's something that I have to work on. Okay, let's go back and... Okay, can you improve my equipment?
Can you help improve my arms and armor?
Yes. You find a new piece, a pauldron or greaves, we'll take care of you. You can't just slap a new hilt on your sword in the field. Bring it here, we'll make sure it's done right and proper.
Okay, and do you have any designs?
If I want something, what can you make?
Start simple. Something to keep you safe. Take a look at it on the table there and we can talk. You'll need materials. We should have what you want just outside.
Okay, I think that's everything.
Goodbye.
Right.
Study of Fifth Blight Volume 2. Oh, I'll read that. So... Hang on, didn't I finish a quest? Okay, the right armor. With the right materials, Haven's blacksmith can craft some pretty decent armor. And piece by piece, the blacksmith can also improve existing armor. Yeah, I completed that. There you go. Now it came up. Okay, so let's craft some armor. See how this works. Crafting armor weapons, you need a schematic. Oh yeah, here's this like crazy armor. I'm like, it's cool, and I feel like it's totally like Kunari, but I feel like they were like cold. We're up on the mountain, so it doesn't seem very practical, and he's completely exposed. With this stone bear armor, it was crazy. It's interesting, but it's kind of crazy. I mean, that totally fits it too. But anyway, so I have light armor, apprentice coat. Each crafting schematic has one or more slots. Each slot accepts a specific number of materials: metal, cloth, or leather. Oy, my 5 different types of crafting slots: utility, offense, defense, damage, and armor. The type of slot determines the stat that will be generated from the material placed in it. For example, placing iron in defensive slot gives a bonus to melee defense, while putting it in the utility slot gives a bonus to strength. Experiment with different... I don't want to, but I guess we'll have to. Each crafting material has a predetermined stat value for each possible slot type. Wow, you can like seriously customize. What? Look at that. Oh my god, it matches his yellow face. Oh my gosh, you could make the ugliest clothes, I imagine. Oh, thank goodness I don't have enough of it. But it's nice that it's different colors. That's cool. So Samite is willpower, heal on kill, spirit damage resistance. Cotton is... we'll take healing from all sources. I'm squishy. I need lots of healing. Oh wait, hang on. Armor rating. Okay, they're all 63. And then cotton gives me 8 heal bonus. Plaid with electrical resistance, spirit resistance. Oh, and my clothes again changed colors. Oh, do I go with what matches or like better stats? It's fine, I'm sure. Heal on kill. We'll go with the Samite. Spirit resistance. I feel like that's magic crap, right? Fade Walker apprentice coat. I keep hearing this noise in the background, and I feel like that's my achievement. Clicker going off. But they don't pop up anymore.
Should serve you well.
Which is fine. Well, let's go to my armor and... Is it better? It is. Wow, it's significantly better armor. It's fine. I look a little... The yellow face is just ridiculous. Okay, so... Then I also had... Piece by piece... So I need to modify armor, not weapons, armor. Okay. Upgrading item adds the upgrade stats to the item stats. Okay, so it's just adding things to my armor or my weapons, it looks like. You can remove and add existing upgrades. Oh, we can craft them too. Oh, that's cool. Well, let's go with what I'm wearing. Sigil. So I can modify my legs, but it doesn't look like I have anything. Select. Oh, that's cool. I put on gloves basically. That's Neat. Such a descriptive word. Confirm changes, and I added magical defense. Okay. That's cool. Again, another achievement just popped off. I wish it popped up. It's probably in my settings, but I don't care that much. Okay. Well, before we go back that way, let's go this way. Oh, let's go in here. Let's do a little exploration. I feel like we've been stuck just talking to people for like 5 days. Because we have. What are these things right here? Oh, it's a nug. Aww. What is up there? There's something up there. A frozen river. Okay. Oh, there's something down here. It's gonna be a collection problem. Oh, elf fruit. I need lots of elf fruit. I'm really glad I got that looting mod. Makes it easier. Well, I don't want to say easier, just faster. Oh, that looks like iron, right? Yep. And it looks like they're gonna build more. I don't know what's the proper medieval terminology. Not cannons, but I don't know. I should know this. I studied history, but whatever, it's fine. Okay. Trebuchets, that's what it is. The thing where you fling like the rocks and stuff. I feel like that's what is gonna happen. And some iron. And some more iron. Alright. Can I just leave this way? This looks like this looks like the bridge I crossed right at the very beginning where it was like, open the gates, we need to go somewhere. The Penitent's Crossing. Okay. Oh. Look at all of the bodies that have... Oh my goodness, that is really sad. Funny. Okay, well, I'm gonna run back down to the blacksmith place.
Come on, you've seen our mounts. Most of them should be pulling plows.
Didn't all grow up with fancy noble horses, Arnsberg. You ride whatever holds you. Why are you here with the scouts instead of fobbing around with the nobles anyway?
My uncle died at the conclave. I'm a good rider, and, well, I thought I'd be more useful here.
We'll see.
Oh, he's there to flirt with you, obviously. Look, I appreciate you want to spread the chant, but can you not when other people are talking? It's so rude. So I did take a moment to level myself up on the way back down here, and I also triggered the... No, not Falomir. Haven, sorry. Passing Notes quest. And it looks like it's in this purple section, which is pretty big. So, yeah, that happened. So, since we're right here, let's quick save and talk to the lovely yet feisty Cassandra.
Ugh.
No, I'm never going to get over the face paint. I actually really like it. I don't know why, but I actually really do. You're impressive. I don't know if he's going to flirt with Cassandra. I just feel like that's a little soon for that. You need stronger dummies, probably. I mean, it's Cassandra. She's kind of intimidating.
I think you need practice dummies made of sturdier stuff.
That would be nice.
Like maybe iron.
Did I do the right thing? What I have set in motion here could destroy everything I have revered my whole life. One day they may write about me as a traitor, a madwoman, a fool, and they may be right.
Yeah, I was looking back at I was editing the last couple videos, and originally I thought that Divine Justinia had set up the Inquisition, but it seems like this was her, like, if the conclave doesn't work, this is what we're going to do, kind of. That was the reaction. But with Justinia dead, Cassandra and Liliana started it on her behalf since she was dead. So, anyway, tangent. Well, what do you believe, Cassandra?
What does your faith tell you?
I believe you are innocent.
Thanks.
I believe more is going on here than we can see.
Yeah.
And I believe no one else cares to do anything about it. They will stand in the fire and complain that it is hot. But is this the Maker's will? I can only guess.
Oh, yeah, you don't think I'm chosen? It's okay if you don't.
You don't think I'm the Herald of Andraste?
I think you were sent to help us. I hope you were. But the Maker's help takes many forms. Sometimes it's difficult to discern who it truly benefits, or how.
Again, the graphics, like you can see the individual hairs in her eyebrows. Again, I know I'm off topic. Well, what happens next?
What's going to happen now?
Now, we deal with the Chantry's panic over you before they do even more harm. Then we close the breach. We are the only ones who can. After that, we find out who is responsible for this chaos, and we end them.
Yeah, sure.
And if there are consequences to be paid for what I have done, I pay them. I only pray the price is not too high.
Great camera angle. Well, it is too late to turn back now. I don't think her doing this, I feel like she feels conflicted about starting the Inquisition and it was the right thing to do. And I feel like me knowing everything and maybe not Theron knowing everything, but even Theron a little bit, like it seems like she did what she had to do to like get the job done. Because like she said, they're going to stay in the fire and complain it's hot, but not actually get out of it because people.
You didn't have any choice.
Didn't I? My trainers always said, Cassandra, you are too brash. You must think before you act. I see what must be done, and I do it. I see no point in running around in circles like a dog chasing its tail. But I misjudged you in the beginning, did I not? I thought the answer was before me, clear as day. I cannot afford to be so careless again.
I mean, you did have cause. It looked pretty obvious. Like this big explosion happens and I just happen to have this magical thing on my hand. It is kind of an odd coincidence. So you kind of had cause.
It wasn't like you had no reason to suspect me.
I was determined to have someone answer for what happened. Anyone. I'm curious. Do you even believe in the Maker?
Well, yeah, he is Canary, but that doesn't mean that he can't believe in the Maker. Where's the mouse? Let's see if this is it's a special option. Let's go with it.
You're asking me?
You're not a follower of the Kyun. You could be. I suppose it doesn't matter now. I have to believe we were put on this path for a reason, even if you do not. Now it simply remains to see where it leads us.
It's a good point. Like, Theron wasn't raised by the Kyun. He was raised, I forget, where did it say that he was raised in Ferelden or the Free Marches or something? So he could believe in the Maker. You know, I feel like that's a nice difference. But anyway, let's save again. It is really loud over here. I don't know if there's much I can do about it, so we'll have to just go with it. But let's talk to Cassandra.
It occurs to me I don't actually know much about you.
What do you want to know?
I'm not sure. Where are you from?
You don't know?
I thought you knew that.
I suppose I could ask Liliana. She has collected a frightening amount of information on you. But I don't want to ask her. I want to hear it from you.
A frightening amount of information on me. Well, let's just tell her and see what I say.
No specific place. My mercenary band worked mostly in the Free Marches, however.
At least until you crossed the waking sea to reach the Conclave, I suppose. Tell me, do you consider the Free Marches your home? Are you eager to go back?
I hated it. Eventually, perhaps. It sounds like it wasn't his home. It's just kind of where he's from. So maybe home is wherever I am. That sounds like a good option.
Wherever I am is home enough for me.
That works.
That's how I feel now. after years of tending to business for the Divine.
Oh, investigate. Lots of questions. Well, I told you about myself. Why don't you tell me about yourself? Because Jessica, only know about her interrogating Barrick, basically, and her being feisty, but off topic.
I'd like to get to know you better.
You would?
Is that a problem?
Not entirely. I'm just curious as to your motivation.
I'd like us to be closer. I don't know about that. I'm just being friendly, Cassandra. It's Cassandra, right?
No motivation beyond making things between us less...
Antagonistic?
Exactly.
As you wish. My name is Cassandra Pentecost, daughter of the Royal House of Navarra, 78th in line for the Navarran throne. I joined the Seekers of Truth as a young woman, and was with the Order until they withdrew from the Chantry. I remained as the Divine's right hand, carrying out her order to form the Inquisition. And here we are. That's all there is to know, my lord.
My lord? I'm not really a lord. But yeah, you are royalty yourself?
You're a member of Navarra's royal family.
The Pentecosts are a very large clan. Half of Cumberland could say the same.
Really?
No, but it feels that way. I have hundreds of relatives so distant they need charts to prove we're related at all. And they have them. Oh yes. The Pentecosts value their precious blood like it runs with gold.
Interesting. Is that why you left?
And you joined the Seekers to get away from that?
It was a life worth getting away from. The Pentecosts are famed for dragon hunting, but few actually pursue the craft. Most are fat and lazy. They pay lip service to the Maker and care only for idle pleasures and past glories. My brother was all that kept me in Navarra. Once he was gone, so was I.
Well, yeah, I can't see Cassandra being the type to sit around in princessy-like dresses and be royalty with all of that crap going on. Well, tell me about Navarra first.
You don't seem to like your homeland much.
No, she doesn't.
My family polluted it for me. What little I saw of my homeland was through the bars of a gilded cage. My uncle treated me like a porcelain doll to be placed on a shelf and dusted only when necessary. Thus, I did not see Navarra, the real Navarra, until much later. By then, I realized I knew it not at all.
What about your parents?
Your uncle? What about your parents?
They had the misfortune of taking the wrong side in the second attempt to overthrow King Marcus. The king executed them, but spared my brother and I since we were family and children at the time. Thus we were raised by my uncle, a mortalitasi who preferred the company of his corpses to the living.
What? A mortalitasi?
Your uncle was a mortalitasi?
A death mage. He still is. My countrymen do not burn the dead, they bury them in special crypts. The mortalitasi supervise the crypts, like priests. Uncle Vestalis oversees the grand necropolis. Navarrans spend more time honoring dead relatives than they do with living ones. It is odd to be so fascinated with death and its trappings. I will never understand it.
Well, again, before we ask about her brother, because that seems like a touchy subject, at least based on the fact that the only thing that kept her there was her brother. And I'm assuming he's not around anymore because she's here. But anyway, let's ask you worked for the Divine, ?
So you were the right hand to the Divine?
To Divine Justinia, yes. And Divine Beatrix before her, in fact.
Oh.
The position is normally reserved for Templars of the Knights Divine, but my circumstances were unusual.
Unusual how?
You don't know the story? Thank the Maker. I will tell you if you wish, but it isn't as exciting as some drum it up to be. The short version is that I once saved the previous Divine's life. My reward was becoming her right hand.
Well, what is a right hand?
But what does a right hand do exactly?
What is your hand capable of? It gives, it takes, it beckons. It makes a fist. Liliana and I extended the Divine's reach beyond the Grand Cathedral. We went where she could not. After Beatrix, I was tired of the position and wanted to return to the Seekers. But Justinia convinced me to stay. Her vision for the future gave me hope.
You believed in her.
You thought she could really change things.
Justinian knew the war was coming long before it began. She tried to avert it, but the forces arrayed against her were too strong. Sometimes you have to break a bone so it can be reset. That's where the Inquisition comes in. It was to be the answer. A means to preserve as well as an agent for change. I only wish she had lived to see it.
Well, how did you become the right hand?
So what's the story about you becoming the right hand?
Sweet Andraste, do you really want to hear that?
Obviously.
It was, 18, 20 years ago? Some still discuss it like it happened yesterday. The tale gets bigger each time it's told. I barely recognize myself within it now.
Yeah, isn't that how stories work, though?
That's what happens with stories that become legends.
I am not a legend, nor was I then. I was a young woman barely out of training. To hear others tell it, I alone saved divine Beatrix from a horde of dragons sent to assault the Grand Cathedral. Rather impressive for such a young seeker, wouldn't you say?
And the truth is?
I stumbled upon a conspiracy to kill Beatrix. A Templar Knight Commander was at its heart. And there was a dragon battle at the Grand Cathedral. But I had help from loyal mages who rallied to the cause. They freed the dragons from magical control. Without them, the Divine and I would both have died. Yet I became the right hand, and they are forgotten.
You're delightful. No, I don't really. No, I'm not feeling a romance with her. Just not feeling it. She's not. I mean, maybe she's a romantic at heart, but I'm just not feeling it right now. So, what became of the mages?
What happened to the mages that helped you?
They went back to their circles, with rewards and privileges and Most Holy's gratitude. Many of them died at the conclave.
Well, you're still a hero. You did do something. It's not like you didn't do anything.
I think you're a hero, no matter how you downplay it.
Fine. But it was 20 years ago. I will not rest upon my laurels.
Okay, since all we have left is to ask about her brother, let's ask it.
Tell me about your brother.
I would prefer not to speak of Anthony. Another time, perhaps.
Oh. Well, tell me about the Seekers, Cassandra.
Can you tell me more about the Seekers?
The Seekers of Truth were born from the original Inquisition long ago, when it united with the Chantry. Seekers stood above the Templars, watching over them but also investigating magical events they couldn't handle. We were meant to be incorruptible, above reproach. How seldom does reality match the ideal?
Why did the Seekers rebel?
Why did your order turn against the Chantry?
We originally united with the Chantry through a treaty that stated they would keep mages under control.
Yeah.
It was felt Most Holy had tacitly allowed the Circle of Magi to vote on its independence, thus breaking the treaty. The Seekers saw themselves as justified, and they led the Templars into a war of righteousness.
The Codex entry that I mentioned, what was it? It was yesterday, in yesterday's video, mentioned the same thing, that, this treaty's broken, so therefore we don't have to follow it anymore. And, well, let's ask a follow-up. You disagree?
You sound like you disagree.
We knew what was happening at Kirkwall, where the Mage Rebellion began. We looked into reports of Knight Commander Meredith's harsh treatment of her charges years earlier. But we found so many shocking cases of magical corruption, it was decided her actions were justified. If we'd been there when it happened, if we'd looked harder at the root causes...
I mean, you would have had to probably have stopped Anders. Because I feel like that was... Maybe that wasn't the... I feel like that was just the last straw. So... I feel like he's a mage, so he doesn't want to be locked away in a circle, and he has never been locked in a way circle. So I think he would say mages should be free, but let's go with she cares very deeply about it.
You seem to care a great deal about it.
Too much, if you ask the rest of my order. When faced with a problem, the Seekers would close ranks and crush it. We would find an answer, but only once we felt we weren't being coerced. The moment the mages voted for independence, our response was predictable. It was difficult to watch.
Yeah. Well, what are the Seekers? Yeah, how are the Seekers different from just being a Templar?
What are Seekers exactly?
Those who know anything of us think we are Templars.
Yeah.
We do not use lyrium, however. Our abilities are different, as was our original purpose. We disciplined the Templars and were accountable only to the Divine. And not even her, truthfully.
So, yeah, who watched you then? You watched the Watchers, huh?
So nobody ever watched over the Seekers?
It was the Divine's duty. But she could only do so much when the truth was hidden from her. The Templars have always feared us. When a Seeker arrived at a circle, they knew trouble was afoot. That kind of power is troubling. You begin to think you are the only one who can solve the world's problems. If you don't see a problem, it doesn't exist. If someone insists it does, they are the blind ones.
Yeah. Could that be fixed?
Do you think that kind of problem could ever be fixed?
Possibly. Though the Seekers themselves would need to change. They were clearly not willing to, even though they abandoned everything they stood for to avoid it. In my heart, I believe they can still be salvaged, but not by their own hands.
Well, what abilities do you have?
You mentioned that Seekers have different abilities than Templars.
Entirely. A Templar's abilities come from lyrium and are designed to hunt mages. Ours come from ritual and many years of dedicated training. We cannot be possessed by demons and are immune to mind control. Useful, considering our role. Seekers can gain other gifts, though that depends on the individual.
Well, what are your gifts?
What kind of gifts do you have?
I can set the lyrium within a person's blood aflame. Both mages and Templars bend before my will. Some Seekers use it to interrogate, others simply to paralyze. Once there was a Seeker who could use it to kill. That particular gift is considered rare.
And how do you become a Seeker?
How does someone become a Seeker?
Most Seekers begin training in their youth. I was much older, an exception due to my noble birth. We train rigorously for years. Our bodies and minds must be elastic to undergo the vigil, and most fail even then.
What's the vigil?
Is the vigil some kind of initiation?
It is the rite every Seeker must go through in order to summon their gifts. A full year of fasting, prayer, and separation from all distractions, including other people. We empty ourselves of all emotion, focusing only on the purity of our devotion. And the moment it finally ends, it's wonderful. Faith realized. I cannot put it into words.
You were delirious. Was it magic? I don't know, but it does sound pretty wonderful. I mean, kind of. Yeah? At least for her it does.
I wish I could experience that.
I know.
If the vigil was not so arduous, I'd say more should attempt it. What if mages never needed to fear possession by demons?
Yeah.
I'm told it is impossible, however. I suppose I'll never know the truth of it now.
Okay, that's enough.
I've no more questions.
Well, I do have more questions, but we're already over time for today, so we'll continue chatting with Cassandra tomorrow. I love my yellow face. I love it. I don't know why. I just really love it. I think it's hilarious, but I think it's so cool. Anyway, off topic. Tomorrow we will talk to Cassandra. Oh, the loudness of the fighting or the training in the background. But we'll talk to Cassandra, talk to Cullen, and then I think I will finally have talked to everybody and we can go explore and look for things. Oh, look, I have to go find something over there. But anyway, that's for tomorrow. I'm kind of excited. Thank you, as always, for watching, and I will see you again tomorrow with another new Dragon Age Inquisition video.